Well, on the heels of the announcement today that state leaders have reached agreement on the $132 billion budget, there is, as you'd expect, plenty of disagreement. Among the loudest critics, Senate Republican leader Dean Skelos. As you heard me mention in my conversation with Majority Leader Malcolm Smith just a short time ago, Senator Skelos called this budget a recipe for disaster, which could push the state from recession to depression. So is that just tough talk? And what does he plan to do to stop it? Capitol Tonight's Erin Billups live outside the Capitol tonight, where she's standing by and joined live by Dean Skelos tonight. Hi, Erin. What's his take this evening?
Hi, Brian. Well, as you said, now that we know what's in the budget, it seems that Republican disapproval has grown even louder. And joining me with that perspective is Senate Republican leader Dean Skelos. Thank you for joining us today. So you have said that this is the worst budget you've ever seen. Is that an exaggeration?
No,
or
it's not an exaggeration, and it's not just me that's saying this. I mean, Doug Muzio, who's a professor at Baruch College, he said they're in the twilight zone, meaning the budget, meaning the governor, meaning Malcolm Smith, and meaning Speaker Silver. They just don't understand what hardworking people are going through right now, what families are going through. And the budget that they've proposed for the people that live in the capital region, upstate New York, the taxes and fees will be over $2,400 a family. That's outrageous. And maybe it's because they're all from New York City and they don't understand, but the STAR program. You know, today, and this is a true story, my wife was at Crossgate shopping, and she heard a senior citizen talking on the phone, on cell phone, and they're going to tax your cell phone too, saying how the 3 Democrats from New York City are eliminating my STAR rebate check. Now, I heard Senator Smith on your program say nobody knows they get it. You know what? I guarantee you people that are getting $700, $800 a year in rebate checks know they're getting that check, and it should be known that they're taking it away from them.
That's right. So there's no STAR rebate, and there's also no real property tax relief included in this budget. You have called on upstate senators and assemblymen to not vote for this budget. Why is
Well, quite honestly, it impacts upstate even more dramatically than obviously the city. They're taxing our utilities, gas and electric costs, $600 million. They took NYPA power away. School aid is not being fairly distributed upstate. So it's horrible in terms of job creation for upstate communities. And quite frankly, if individuals such as Senator Stokowski, Orbatine, Valetsky, Senator Breslin from the Capital Region had the courage of their convictions, they would vote no on this. And all it takes is one Democrat senator to say no, and we'll work to get your STAR rebate checks back, and we'll look to eliminate the over $8 billion in taxes and fees. If you want to drive your car, it's going to be more expensive. If you want to register your car, it's going to be more expensive. If you want to have a beer after work, it's going to be more expensive. They're taxing just about everything that's moving, and that's unfortunate for the people of the state. And we showed a better way. We showed how you could use the stimulus money, eliminate the taxes, create jobs. Now, Malcolm Smith is talking about all these thousands and thousands of jobs. How can they be created under their plan when every single business leader, whether it's the Business Council, Unshackle New York, NFIB, which is a small business group, they're all saying this budget is a disaster. So I guess they feel they're smarter than those that are out in the field. Taxing your health insurance premiums, about $400 a family for people that live upstate in the western part of the state. So this budget is just unforgivable. I think the public, if they knew, and that's a problem, it was negotiated in secrecy, that if they really understood what's in there, they would revolt. There would be demonstrations here. And we're going to point out tomorrow when we're discussing the budget on the floor how bad it is for the people of the state of New York.
So what are you going to do about it? There's been some talk of Republicans invoking Article 3, Section 23 of the state constitution, which would call for a quorum or 3/5 of a vote in order to pass the budget.
Well, if they look to do any messages and necessities, in fact, the 2 of the budget bills are not going to be live until Wednesday, April 1st, so actually the budget technically will be late. If they look to do messages of necessity, not give us the review that's necessary, and it's not just about us reviewing, it's the opportunity through you to allow the public to know what they're doing. And this has been the most secretive budget I've ever seen. If you want to not let me in the room, let you in the room so the public can see what's going on. It's not about me, it's about the public. It's about their taxpayer dollars. And they're going to spend over $10 billion more this year than last year. That stimulus money should have gone to creating jobs, to helping small businesses flourish, to eliminate the tax and fees that they have. We showed that way. They didn't want to listen because they wouldn't let us in the room. And that's what's unfortunate. We're going to see the continued job loss upstate New York, and we're going to see people leaving the state because they just can't take the tax hell that the Democrats are putting us in.
So will you be voting on this budget come tomorrow and Wednesday?
We'll know tomorrow. We'll see how things go tomorrow. But the bottom line is the public should be absolutely outraged by this budget, which is costing each one of them at least $2,400 a year more. And that's the dirty secret that the Democrat leadership and the governor do not want them to know, what this is going to cost them in additional taxes and fees.
Now, you mentioned the secrecy. Today, the governor, Speaker Silver, Leader Malcolm Smith said that they didn't approve of this secrecy. He said it earlier in the program, but desperate times, meaning the rough economy, calls for desperate measures, essentially.
So basically what they're saying, if times are difficult, you exclude the public, all right? You exclude the public, the taxpayers, from knowing what they're doing. That is an outrageous, unforgivable statement to say that they shouldn't be involved because times are difficult. The public knows that times are difficult, but they want to know exactly how their hard-earned taxpayer dollars are going to be spent, not after the fact when those taxes are going to be raised, the fees that are going to be raised. That's just an unforgivable statement. If you don't want to allow me in the room, if you don't want to allow Jim Tedesco in the room, allow the public in the room. Allow you to be in the room. That's the way you negotiate a budget, in public.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Republican leader Dean Skelos. So, as you've heard, it will be an interesting debate on both the Senate and Assembly floors. Tomorrow, they will probably only be voting on 7 of the 9 budget bills. Brian?